So, when you work 24/7, what do you expect is gonna happen to you? Well, you'd soon forget that you're even alive. You might just die. Well, that is exactly what happens to our main protagonist, who gets run off by a truck after spending hours in his office. Every isekai anime ever. Nonetheless, he wakes up only to be reincarnated as a young boy named Shin Wolford, who lives with his grandfather, Sage Merlin Wolford. With some memories of his past life still intact, except for the part where he died, even I wouldn't want those memories, Shin is a childhood prodigy. Mastering the most complicated spells and magic tricks by the time he was 10, Shin showed true talent when it came to magic. To test out Shin's true capabilities, Merlin takes him for a demon hunt. Guiding Shin to focus his magic to smoke out the demon presence, he is taken aback when Shin flawlessly directs his magic circle to a wide parameter. All at once, sensing the presence of a demon, Shin rushes to the exact location of Merlin on his tail. They come across the demonized red grizzly bear feasting on some dead corpse. Dead corpse? I don't think I've ever seen an alive corpse. This ain't a zombie anime. Quick as lightning, Shin pounces on the demon and cuts it up into itty-bitty little slices. Guess that was a shock for old Gramps. Shin's growing abilities and powers continue to surprise Merlin, who discusses this with his granny Melida and Mr. Michael, who shows strong support and a liking to the young boy. Fast forward 5 years later, and Shin is now 15, and a feast is held to celebrate such an occasion by Merlin, who rejoices with Granny and 2 other members. However, a celebration couldn't have been completed without Shin showing off some of his wow powers. Taking them all to another area in a matter of seconds, Shin shows them what he is truly capable of. With his body relaxed, Shin, with the magical words, unleashes a fury of uncontrollable energy that leads to an enormous blast, shaking everyone out of their wits. When they return home, the out-of-this-world spectacle makes Uncle Discium von Earlshide, who in truth is the king of Earlshide, suggest keeping him in the Magic Academy. I mean, the dude already mastered all the elements of magic. All that's left is just to master socializing. And knowing most isekais, that's gonna happen in like the next 5 to 10 minutes. To this idea, Merlin agrees and they set off to the capital the following month. During his stay in the capital, Shin comes across a group of thirsty men who are harassing some very beautiful girls. And being a knight in shining armor, he kicks their frackin' buttocks and saves the damsels in distresses. Distresses? But wait, there's more. The girls rush to thank him for saving them, but one of them quickly catches Shin's eye, and it's absolutely not because she has big ol' pie. Unable to hold back his emotions, he stutters and calls her beautiful. Way to go, Shin! Blowing your coolness away. I know how it feels. So what do you do after you save 2 pretty girls? Well, you take them out, of course. Shin goes to a nearby cafe with Maria and Sicilian, where the 2 thank him for saving them from such predators. They tell him about their plans to join the Magic Academy after passing through its absolutely difficult entrance exam. Maria also expresses her eagerness to meet Merlin, the legendary magician who saved their king, not to mention a lusty Ivor's grandson who she prays is of her age. Little does she know, old Gramps' grandson is right in front of him. How embarrassing. Shin leaves to tend to other matters, which gives Maria an opportunity to further tease Sicilian that she wants to kiss Shin and take him all for herself, prompting Sicilian to interject and tell her not to. Oh, so much in love. Oh man, wow, that's so basic. What can I say? I'm just attracted to basic looking men. In that case, why is no one attracted to me? The day of the entrance exam is here, and it looks like Shin comes across his first bully. Kurt von Rietzberg, who assumes himself to be some kind of hotshot, tries to bully Shin, but instead gets thrown away. Serves him right. August von Earlshide also comes to reprimand Kurt for being such a bully. By the way, Aug here is Shin's cousin. After the written exam, it's time for the practical one, and boy does Shin get embarrassed at the pathetic way the students cast their magic. When it's Shin's turn, he completely destroys the wooden figure, and this was him holding back. The results are out, and Shin tops the exam. Big shocker. Look at our man up there, Shin, giving a heartwarming speech, who doesn't in the least look like he was raised in a forest. What does that have to do with anything? I'll let you figure it out. You're a wise man, huh? However, it seems that Kurt is burning with jealousy while watching Shin at the top. This isn't gonna fly with him, and neither will it for I. Actually, I don't care. I just recapped the stuff. Students go to their classes. Shin in the highest class called S rank with Og. After the class, Maria and Sicilian meet him and tell him about Kurt harassing Sicilian and using his powers to threaten her of kicking her father out of his job. How can he do that? Shin wasn't going to take Kurt's abusive behavior anymore, and with the help of Og, put him in his place. Later, he takes them all to his grandparents and asks them to allow him to remove the military-grade spells on their uniforms, after which he keeps his own magic spell on their uniforms to protect them from harm. Well, this is all very convenient. Can you give me a spell to help me evade taxes? It's the start of a new day, which means Shin can use this opportunity to walk to school with a rather beautiful Sicilian. Oh, and Maria's also there for some reason. Get a clue. Moving on, their new teacher takes them on a tour of their magic school. Wish I had such a huge school. Actually, I wish I went to school. Man, if those frickers could see me now, they probably wouldn't care. The students push Shin to start his own study group so they all can join him. Sure, join the most skilled students group. How thoughtful. At the Reetzberg mansion, Kurt's father is furious at his behavior in the academy, but that doesn't bother Kurt, who talks back to his father. Blaming everyone but himself and going as far as wanting to kill the king's son, Og, Kurt becomes a completely different person, quite literally. The demonic and sinister behavior compels his father to get him tied up and locked in his room. The next day, Mr. Strom visits poor old Kurt, and it turns out the so-called teacher is the one behind Kurt's demonic behavior. Putting a spell on him, Strom orders him to go kill Shin. Okay, whoa, we just went to 100. Like a demon possessing his mind and body, Kurt storms the academy with raging anger. I don't know what else anger would be if not rage. Like rage and anger are kind of, whatever. Throwing fireballs and overpowered spells at Shin and his friends. Knowing perfectly well Kurt isn't coming back from this form, Shin, for the safety of everyone, kills him off. How did you know that? Have you dealt with this before? I don't think you have. I know he was scum, but did he deserve to die? Who gave you the right to make that call? Self-defense. Mr. Strom watches from afar at the gruesome and painful ending that his former student had gotten under the hands of Shin. Yeah, you could have at least made it painless. Unmoved by the sight, a smile appears on his already sinister face as he calls this experiment a success before disappearing into the shadows. I think you're just telling yourself that to help you sleep at night, but that's just me. He frackin' bodied that fricker. Shin is still confused at the type of demonoid that Kurt had turned into, since demonoids usually lose all form of sense and reason, but in the case of Kurt, he still had a bit left. So you have? When have you dealt with this? Books, Mr. Recap. Shut up, I don't care about books. Books are useless. Watch movies instead, they're good for you. Try experience more, that's even better. Things aren't adding up since in the past, Kurt was a perfectly normal child. Well, I wouldn't go that far. Anywho, killing off a demonoid is not everyone's cup of tea, and since then, Shin has been the talk of the town, leading the king himself to award him with the First Order of Merit. What the frick? A medal holding a very high status in the kingdom. How old is he, 15? Man, I need to get myself a 24/7 job so I can be isekai'd into an overpowered god and get a Medal of Honor before my balls drop. It's times like these where I have to keep reminding myself of my favorite saying. With great power comes great big booty bitch. Yes, you heard that cut off right. The streets are filled with young maidens just dying to have a look at their hero, which pretty much makes Sicilian jealous, to say the least. Hell, even the school isn't safe now since everyone is itching to join Shin's study group. Leave him alone! Can't you see he's busy being basic? However, only 2 students, Olivia Stone and Mark Bean, really? That's what they came up with? Were chosen to join the group. Mark, being skilled in carving swords, was asked by Shin to make him a thin blade sword, which he agrees to. The security bureau investigates the incident. Where did they come from? Well, they investigate the incidents following Kurt's death and track down Mr. Strom. After a few questions, they request his expertise in examining Kurt's demonized body, since they were short of experts. Taken to a parade ground, Mr. Strom is trapped just like a rat when magicians and soldiers corner him. Under the orders of the king, he was to be arrested and taken away. But it seems Mr. Strom had other plans in mind and tried to make a run for it until he came face to face with Shin. Also, Mr. Strom, how did you not see that coming? Doo-doo brain. The two go head-to-head with each other in a magical battle where it seems Mr. Strom had the upper hand, pushing him to reveal his demon-eyed red eyes that were hidden behind eye patches. What the frick? This pissed Mr. Strom to the moon! And you don't want to be pissed on the moon. You don't breathe there. But Shin wasn't one to back down so easily and unleashed a fury of fireballs before finally unleashing his ultimate attack. Redirecting the sun's intense heat ray, he completely eradicates the existence of Mr. Strom. Come on, what is it with this dude and overkills? The 5th episode starts off with Maria pissing. not needed, but thanks for the info. I'm sure that'll matter later. After she gets free, Granny pulls her close and the two spy on Shin and Sicilian having an intimate moment with each other. Looks like their relationship is progressing. Ooh woo. Making their way towards the weapon house, Shin shares his assumption with Og that maybe Mr. Strom is still alive. You just sunned him. How? Taking the matter seriously, unlike some people in this recap, Og requests the foragers to create a special weapon for Shin. Was I talking about myself? In the Bluesphia Empire, a spy named Zest hands out information to the Imperial King that the situation in the kingdom of Earlshide is not good, and it's the perfect time to attack. Let's leave the bad times for last, shall we? Shin takes Sicilian to a jewelry shop and gets her a ring. The day of the award ceremony is here, and Shin gets the respect that he could only have imagined from the king himself. On the other hand, it seems Shin's intuition was right. Strom is alive somehow and is planning for a full-out war. Someone's butthurt. Shin uses this time to teach his group members some new defensive and offensive magic and make them stronger and almost equal to his level. Keyword, almost, never equal. Og warns Shin of a war about to happen between the two kingdoms, and because of which now they all must possess weapons to counter their enemies. The war begins between the Imperial Army and Kingdom, but it seems the Imperial Army was caught off guard after seeing that the Empire was already heavily equipped and ready. Seems like the information given to them by Zest was a complete hoax. Whoa. To top it all off, the Imperial capital is also under attack by demons. This feels like a stab in the back for the king, who orders everyone to return back to the capital.
Mr. Strom's plan falls perfectly in place as he roams the capital with Miria, his attendant, while the demons plunder the lands.
The army returns with their king, which is exactly what Strom was waiting for. Grabbing him by the scruff of his neck, Strom kills off their king with his demonic magic. 3 days later, the entire empire is now under his control, with more than a dozen humans now demonoids. High alert back home, orders are passed to train the Magic Academy with the Knight Training School to prepare them for the war ahead with the demonoids. But it seems that these so-called knights are a little too full of themselves, believing themselves to be far above than these average magicians. I think your attitude will change with one minor sun blast. Can we get that in? Nonetheless, the collaboration is started and students from the two schools are taken deep into the forest to face demons. Throughout the trip, the knights show an arrogant attitude to the magicians because I literally just said that they would. Shin is told to not fight the demons and give the knights the chance to show off their abilities, which pretty much ends in them making a complete and total fool of themselves.
Pride cometh before the fall.
Defeated by a medium-level boar, the knights stand like frackin' chickens on the battlefield. This is easy work for Shin, who kills the boar with one hit of his new sword, and after which Sicilian heals the fallen knight. This makes them respect Shin and also all fall in love with Sicilian. Frackin' give me a break.
Excuse me, did someone say break over there?
Have you been asleep this whole time, Boss Cap? Where have you frackin' been?
I have a life too, you know.
Your life is stuck in this cave with me, Fricker.
And don't forget who brought you here.
Shin does get jealous of the royal treatment Sicilian gets from the male knights and provokes him to blow off some steam when he faces a high-level demon, whom he wipes out from the frackin' face of the planet with his unstoppable magic. That pretty much makes everyone stay back and not flirt or mess with his girl. And that's where we're gonna leave it off today.
If y'all enjoyed.
Sorry, I'm stretching. You already know what to do. Also, leave a comment on what your favorite demon is. Mine is Frank. Day 97 of Yakuza Hot Dog, and I will see y'all in the next video. Thank y'all very much for watching this one. Check out the other content if you like what you saw here and want to see more. Peace!